back everyone. Today we are discussing about hospital pharmacy and its organization part 2. On our last class we have discussed about the definition of the hospital pharmacy, the functions of hospital pharmacy, the organization structure, and today we are going to discuss about the location, layout and staff requirements for a hospital pharmacy. The hospital pharmacy can be defined as a department, service or domain in the hospital organization which is managed under the direction of a professionally competent, legally qualified pharmacist. The hospital pharmacy service functions as a distribution warehouse for all inventories required for patient care services. Why we need a particular organization for a hospital pharmacy, or what is the importance of an defined organization structure of hospital pharmacy? The organization and rigorous management of the pharmacy are crucial in all health facilities in order to maintain a permanent stock of essential medicines and supplies of quality, to reduce cost, then to save time and optimize the work of the staff members, and to facilitate management and continuous consumption evaluation. To promote the effective services, the pharmacy should employ an adequate number of competent, legally qualified pharmacists to meet the specific medication use needs of the hospital patients. Pharmacists hired on a temporary or contract basis shall meet the same requirement as those employed by the hospital. While talking about the hospital pharmacy organization, it is very important to discuss about the location of the hospital pharmacy. Adequate space, equipment and supplies shall be available for all professional and administrative functions relating to the pharmacy service. These resources shall meet all applicable laws and regulations and shall be located in areas that facilitate the provision of services to patient, nurse, prescribers and other health care providers, and shall be integrated with the hospital's communication and delivery or transportation systems. Let's talk about the location of hospital pharmacy. So when you are going to a hospital and after the consultation and all that, you will be getting a prescription order and you will reach the hospital pharmacy to get your medicines. So where it is located or where it will be located normally? Normally in a ground floor where you can easily approach or you can easily reach. Otherwise, if in case you are an inpatient or you are someone admitted there, so you can reach a pharmacy in floors also. Okay. So the location of hospital pharmacy should be in hospital premises for easy approach, and also it ensures continuous flow of materials and movement. For example, if the pharmacy is somewhere far or is somewhere in corner, you can't easily reach the pharmacy. So it will be difficult for you to reach. So should ensure continuous flow of materials and men. In the multi-story building, preferably on the ground floor with storage in basement. As we said, mostly the hospital pharmacy will be located on the ground floor. Then it will be readily accessible to elevator. Then accessible to all areas of hospital. And there will be separate outpatient department unit to serve outpatients, and this will be having a pleasant appearance, enough space and professional look, and also provided with educative posters on health and hygiene and light literature for reading. So there is a chance if you are going to outpatient pharmacy of a hospital, sometimes there will be a queue or you need to wait for some time. So they will be provided with a seating area or a waiting area. Next we are going to discuss about the layout of hospital pharmacy. So this is a basic layout of a hospital pharmacy. So the hospital pharmacy will be having a administrative section, then a dispensing area and an open space, then an aseptic section, then a manufacturing section, a raw material section, store section and finished product section, and there will be a passage. This passage is for their staff for their easy flow and movement. Administrative section is the area where the chief pharmacist or the director of the pharmacy will be sitting and managing the things. They will also be called as pharmacy manager, and also accounting and billing takes place at this section. Then comes the open space. This open space is for the outpatients or the caretakers who will be coming for their medicine. Then the dispensing area where the pharmacist will serve for dispensing the medication. The aseptic sections is essential for patient safety in circumstances whether the manufacturer should be taken at strict strict sterile conditions. So there will be separate aseptic sections will be arranged in the hospital pharmacy. Then comes the manufacturing section where the manufacturing of the products, parenterals, all this takes place. Then comes the raw material section where the raw materials are stored. Then comes the store where the stocks are stored. Then there will be area where finished products will be stored. The material flow in hospital pharmacy. So from the medical stores or the storage area, the materials or the stock of for the pharmacy will be reaching the pharmacy. That means to the pharmacy main unit. And the stocks will be checked for its quality, and this is called as quality control. A hospital pharmacy will be having a inpatient department as well as an outpatient department. So from the hospital pharmacy, the medications will be supplied to outpatients as well as to inpatients. So to an inpatient department, when the inpatient department issues a prescription order, it will be received by the pharmacy. If that prescription needs a parenterals or the parenterals manufactured by the hospital, they will be serving it, or other medication will be served as per the issues of inpatient department. Similarly, for outpatient department, after receiving the prescription order, it will be checked, and and the medications will be supplied as per need, and if it is needed for any other manufacturing process, it will be served by the manufacturing unit and served to the outpatient department of the hospital pharmacy. Next, we are discussing about the material flow for outpatients. So when a doctor writes the prescription, that will be received by the pharmacist in the outpatient department hospital pharmacy. Then there will be filling of prescription, that is selection of medicines according to the prescription, then labeling the medicaments, and they will be price it or they will be billing it, and then it will be dispensed to the patient. And at the time of dispensing to patient, they have to maintain the receipt of payment. Sometimes the payment will be like for in some cases that will be free of charge. Sometimes they will be paying cash, and they will be charging the amount in the account of patients. Then they have to maintain the statistics and reports of this payment and the bills. And also after the dispensing, they have to file the prescriptions. That means they have to register in their registry, like as a regular prescription file or a narcotic prescription file. For the regular medicines or the medicine that is not under the schedules, they will be adding in regular prescription file, and for narcotic drugs that require specific care, they will be adding them in the narcotic prescription file. Next, we are going to discuss about the material flow for inpatients. So in this case, either the prescription that reaches the pharmacy will be written by the doctor, or the prescription will be sometimes copied by the nurse. The RX written by the doctor will be normally in case for the peoples or the patients on discharge. So that will be inpatient discharge medication that have the same material flow as same as that for outpatients. So the inpatient discharge medications prescription will be received by the pharmacist. They will fill the prescription after selection, labeling and tracing, and they will be dispensing the prescription. Then, if the prescriptions are copied by the nurse, they are called as inpatient medication orders. and this will be received by the pharmacist. They will be filling the order after selection, labeling and pricing of the medication, and they will give the dispensing order and they will be charged. In some cases, the inpatients will be serving with medications and they will be charged later. You might have experienced that when the patient has been admitted and the nurses issues a prescription order and the medicine will be served by the pharmacy, and you will be paying the bill for the whole medication at the time of discharge. That is called as credit payment or credit medicines. So at these times, they will be filing the prescription and it will be issued, the medications will be issued, and all the pricing will be saved for future. Like at the time of your discharge you have to pay the medicines. These are also dispensed by the pharmacy. So all these constitute for the material flow for inpatients. Let's talk about the floor space requirement of a hospital pharmacy. The floor should be smooth, easily washable and should be acid resistant and slightly inclined if possible to facilitate the cleaning. And also for a hospital pharmacy, correct ventilation is necessary. Fans mainly reduce humidity, air conditioning reduces heat and humidity. In manufacturing sections, drains should be provided. Walls should be smooth and painted in light color. Wooden cabinets should be enameled or laminated. Then the fluorescent lamp should be placed immediately above the prescription counter. A ceiling underneath the roof is essential in order to reduce the ambient temperature, and the space between the ceiling and the roof must be ventilated. The floor space area requirement for the hospital pharmacy is based on the bed strength of the hospital pharmacy. So we can discuss about the areas in square feet for each unit based on the bed strength of a hospital pharmacy. For a storeroom of a hospital pharmacy for a 100-bedded hospital requires 450 square feet areas. For 300 bedded it is 1000 square feet. For 500 bedded a storeroom of 2400 square feet is needed. For a dispensary unit for a 100-bedded hospital, 350 square feet area. For a 300-bedded, 500 square feet area. And for a 700-bedded hospital, it is 800 square feet area. The office should be like for 100, 300 and 700-bedded hospital, it is like 110, 150 and 200 square feet area respectively. And for a manufacturing of compressed tablets and capsule unit, for tablets for a 700-bedded hospital, it requires a 900 square feet area, and for capsule preparation, that requires a 200 square feet area for a 700-bedded hospital. Then for a unit of manufacturing of antiseptic uh, items like eye drops, eye lotions and other preparation for external use, for a 300-bedded hospital, the area requires a 250 square feet, and for a 700-bedded hospital it requires 250 square feet area. And for parenteral 300-bedded hospital 600, and also for 700-bedded hospital it requires 600 square feet area. Coming to the storage of materials in a hospital pharmacy, the following minimum elements in the form of cabinets, shelves, and or separate rooms or closets shall be included as required. That includes bulk storage, active storage, refrigerated storage, volatile fluids and alcohol storage with construction as required by the relevant regulation for substances involved, secure storage for narcotics and controlled drugs, storage for general supplies and equipment not in use, and storage for prescriptions and any documents required by relevant legislation. We can classify the storage of materials in a pharmacy section in four categories, like storage of general drugs, narcotic drugs, inflammable drugs, and cold storage. And in each category of products, they will be categorized or classified alphabetically. And while storing the drugs, we should clearly indicate the expiry dates on the boxes with large markers. And also we have to store and arrange the products with earliest expiry date at the front of the shelves and those with the latest at the back. This is essential to avoid drugs expiring during the storage. The narcotic drugs dispensing, storage and distribution requires specific care, and these controlled substances should be placed under lock and key. And talking about inflammable drugs, these drugs should be labeled as flammable and must not be stored near a naked flame or any equipment which may emit sparks. And the drugs or the products that require a cold chain storage, they should be stored in refrigerator, then like vaccines, immunoglobulins, serums, insulins, etc. We can discuss about the storage of these categories in the next few slides. For the general drug storage, the drugs to be arranged alphabetically in the cabinet or as per use, that is like antibiotics, antihypertensive, etc. according to their pharmacological classification. Then bin card showing stock positions, short expiry to be placed in front and long expiry at the back. Then first in first out method to be followed. That means the drug with a nearer expiry date should be dispensed first, and the one with a more expiry date or more to reach the expiry date has to be dispensed later. Then the drugs to be used before date of expiry or transferred to other hospitals, and expiry drugs to be disposed at as per rule. Then talking about the cold storage, the drugs such as antibiotics, vitamins, liver extract should be stored in cold room between 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. The room to be air conditioned with temperature control facility. Drugs like vaccine, serum, hormones, etc. to be stored at 2 degree to 8 degrees Celsius in deep freezers or walk-in coolers. The temperature monitoring through dial thermometer and temperature charting is necessary to maintain the proper temperature in a cold storage condition. And for the narcotic drugs, there should be separate special arrangement for drugs like morphine, pethidine, barbiturates, etc. Proper recording to be maintained and always to be kept under lock and key. And for inflammable items, separate enclosure to be made for inflammables like spirit, gases and chemicals. Adequate ventilation and firefighting arrangement should be made in the hospital pharmacy itself. Exhaust fans and skyscrapers for air to pass through should be made properly. So this is all for today. We can continue with hospital pharmacies and their responsibilities in the next section. So take care.